Welcome to another episode of Agentic AI, the future of intelligent systems. Today, let's imagine something that may soon become completely normal. You wake up in the morning. Before you even touch your phone, your day has already started moving. Your personal agent has reviewed your calendar and quietly rearranged a meeting because traffic looks unusually bad. Another agent has scanned overnight market changes and adjusted your monthly budget. A health companion has noticed poor sleep patterns and suggests a lighter schedule for the day. A learning assistant has summarized the most important updates in areas you care about. And somewhere in the background, another system is comparing travel options for a trip you casually mentioned 2 weeks ago. No apps, no searching, no endless clicking, just intelligent systems quietly working around you, almost like invisible digital companions, always available, always thinking, always helping. At first, this sounds exciting, and honestly, it probably is, because for the first time, technology may stop waiting for instructions. Instead of software that reacts, we may finally have software that acts, systems that plan, reason, coordinate, remember, and increasingly make decisions on our behalf. But hidden beneath this exciting future lies a question very few people are asking. What happens when everyone has an agent, or 10 agents, or perhaps hundreds of invisible agents quietly working in the background? Because not every agent will look like a personal assistant. Some may negotiate prices, some may monitor subscriptions, some may quietly optimize energy use in your home, some may screen spam, others may summarize information, coordinate schedules, review documents, manage workflows, or make tiny decisions you never even notice. Most of them may never speak to you directly, they will simply work quietly, continuously, and if billions of people begin relying on hundreds of intelligent systems each day, something profound starts to happen. Because every recommendation, every decision, every summary, every interaction happening invisibly in the background comes with a cost, not always visible, not always obvious, but constantly running. And this is where today's conversation begins. Because behind the rise of agentic AI, there is an invisible economy quietly emerging. An economy powered by something called tokens. Now, at first, tokens may sound like technical jargon, something engineers care about. But the truth is far more interesting because tokens are quietly becoming the currency of intelligence itself. Every instruction, every sentence, every document an agent reads, every response it generates, everything gets broken into units AI systems can process. And while users experience intelligence as something effortless, underneath it, there is an invisible meter running. The more context an agent carries, the more information it processes, the more reasoning it performs, the more tools it calls, the more tokens it consumes. And when we begin imagining a world filled with personal agents, this suddenly becomes very important because traditional software waits, you click, it responds, and then it stops. Agentic AI is different. It doesn't simply react, it operates continuously, quietly, sometimes without even being explicitly asked. Imagine asking something simple. Can you help plan my family vacation? Seems straightforward. But behind the scenes, your agent may check calendars, compare flights, review hotel prices, read weather forecasts, analyze traffic patterns, check school schedules, estimate budgets, review visa requirements, coordinate with another finance agent, perhaps even negotiate better prices. What feels like one simple request may actually involve hundreds of invisible decisions, thousands of interactions, and potentially millions of tokens. Suddenly, AI no longer feels like a chatbot. It starts to feel like infrastructure, like electricity, invisible but quietly powering modern life. And perhaps the biggest shift is still ahead, because today most people imagine having one assistant. But tomorrow, you may have an ecosystem, hundreds of specialized agents quietly working around you, some permanent, some temporary, some waking up only when needed, a health agent monitoring long term trends, a financial agent preventing unnecessary spending, a career assistant preparing you for important meetings, a research companion gathering insights before conversations, a shopping negotiator quietly comparing prices in the background. And many of these systems may not even interact directly with you. They may simply talk to one another, coordinating, reasoning, planning, optimizing, quietly shaping decisions before you even notice. And this raises an important question. What happens when billions of people begin consuming intelligence continuously? Because history tells us something interesting. When technology becomes easier to access, we usually consume far more of it. Internet speeds improved, video streaming exploded, cloud computing became cheaper, software usage increased dramatically, and AI may follow the same pattern. Models may become cheaper, but demand for intelligence may grow even faster. Because once intelligent systems become useful, we naturally want more of them, more automation, more personalization, more reasoning, more convenience, more decisions delegated to machines, which means more tokens. And suddenly, tokens stop looking like technical metrics. They begin to resemble something much bigger, a hidden economy, quietly powering modern life. But here's where things become even more interesting. The challenge may not simply be scale, it may be waste. Because surprisingly, AI systems can become very good at wasting tokens. Sometimes agents carry huge amounts of unnecessary memory, pages of instructions, excessive context, repeated reasoning, redundant tool calls, multiple agents validating decisions that never required deep thinking in the first place. A simple task becomes an expensive chain of overanalysis. And strangely enough, this feels very human because we often assume more thinking equals better outcomes. But sometimes the smartest decision is knowing when enough thinking is enough. And this may become one of the defining lessons of agentic AI. The future may not belong to systems that think the most, it may belong to systems that think intentionally, systems that know when deep reasoning is necessary, when smaller models are enough, when memory should be used, when context should be ignored, when another tool call adds value, and when it simply adds cost. Because intelligence without efficiency becomes expensive very quickly. But here's the part of the story we talk about far less. The hidden cost of tokens isn't only financial, it's physical. Because every token consumed triggers computation. And computation requires infrastructure, servers, data centers, electricity, cooling systems, and increasingly water. Every time an AI model reasons, summarizes, retrieves memory, or generates responses, there is energy being consumed somewhere, heat being generated somewhere, cooling happening somewhere. And behind many cooling systems, water is quietly being used to keep infrastructure operational. One interaction may feel insignificant, a few extra prompts, a little more reasoning, an oversized context window, no big deal. But billions of people running hundreds of agents every single day, that changes the equation completely. Because waste at scale stops being invisible, unnecessary reasoning becomes unnecessary energy, redundant tool calls become wasted compute, oversized prompts become avoidable carbon emissions, always on agents become silent consumers of electricity and water. And suddenly, token efficiency becomes something much bigger than cost optimization. It becomes an environmental conversation, a responsibility conversation, not simply how intelligent can AI become, but how responsibly should intelligence operate? Because perhaps the future challenge isn't building AI that thinks endlessly. It is building AI that thinks wisely, efficiently, responsibly, deliberately, systems that know when deep reasoning matters and when simplicity is enough, systems that understand that intelligence without boundaries can quietly become waste, waste of money, waste of energy, waste of water, waste of computation, and perhaps waste of human attention too. Because maybe the future of intelligence isn't unlimited thinking. Maybe it's intentional thinking. And perhaps the biggest winners in the AI era won't simply be those with the smartest systems, but those who understand the hidden economics behind intelligence itself. Those who understand that every token carries a cost in money, a cost in energy, a cost in carbon, a cost in water, and sometimes a cost we don't notice until scale makes it impossible to ignore. Because in the age of agentic AI, every decision has a cost, every interaction carries weight, and every token tells a story about how wisely we choose to think. Until next time, keep rethinking what intelligent systems should be.